Thanks a lot for staying with CNN News 18. I'm Shivani Gupta, and this hour our top focus on the black marketing and the hoarding that is ongoing in many parts of the country that is also adding to the crunch as far as key COVID drugs and especially oxygen is concerned. So CNN News 18's undercover team, Harish and Arun, actually went around the National Capital Region where they found many spots in the NCR region, in Greater Noida, and in the National Capital, where some are trying to profiteer from the pandemic. Here's first up our report on the oxygen black marketing that is currently going on, and then special guests are also joining us in just a bit.
India is facing an unprecedented oxygen crisis. While the nation is uniting as one to help out those who are in dire need of oxygen, there are some vultures who still seek to profit out of a pandemic. Harish Sharma and Arun Singh, part of News 18's undercover team, tracked down this agency in Greater Noida named Shekhar Refrigerators, which turned out to be a hub of oxygen black marketing. Our suspicions were aroused when we saw cylinders painted black lined up. Our team struck up a conversation with this lady at the front desk while pretending to be customers. With at least 20 cylinders in stock, this lady initially claimed that she was supplying them to hospitals. But when we pressed further, asking for the price of a small cylinder which is supposed to cost 800 rupees, we were stunned by her response.
10 लीटर का हमें वैसे कितने का मिलेगा?
सर 8500 का है। किट मेरे पास नहीं है, आपको अरेंज करनी होगी। बहुत एक्सट्रीम केसेस के लिए मेरे पास 5 किट है। जैसे इनकी मौसी है, लास्ट डेट पे अपनी लखनऊ जाना चाहती है, मैं मदद कर सकती हूँ। जिसकी मैं केपेबल हूँ उतनी मदद मैं करूँगी, जिसकी मैं केपेबल नहीं हूँ वो मदद मैं नहीं।
8500 में हमें विद सिलेंडर
8500 में सिर्फ सिलेंडर है ऑक्सीजन के साथ।
This is the reality of oxygen trafficking in the National Capital Region. A 10-litre cylinder which is supposed to cost 800 rupees is now being bargained off for more than 10 times the price.
8500 में सिर्फ सिलेंडर है ऑक्सीजन के साथ।
But perhaps what's even more shocking is how smoothly such deals are being struck.
2 बजे के बाद सर, मैं ज़्यादा देर नहीं, 2 बजे के बाद आ जाना सर, यहाँ लाइन देखना। उसके बाद अभी तो मैंने 2 बजे के बाद अभी भगा दिया सबको आकर। पहले सर लाइन लगाने से कुछ नहीं मिलना, आपको मैंने देख लिया है, आप 2 बजे आएंगे मैं दे दूँगी, ये मेरा आपसे वादा है। यस, एक दे पाऊँगी सर, वन पर्पस
चल जाएगा,
एक ही दे पाऊँगी।
Our investigative team then tracked down another shop in Sector 5 with similar results. An 8-litre cylinder being sold for 8,000 rupees.
इसमें कंप्लीट ऊपर का जो मीटर आता है वो आ ही नहीं रहे।
But when we pressed for immediate availability, we were directed to another shop in Sector 9. Here we were told that oxygen is available, but not in cylinders.
कोई भी नहीं मिलता सिलेंडर तो बिल्कुल नहीं है। गैस भर जाएगी, आप सिलेंडर ले बड़ा सिलेंडर आपका 11 को 50 रुपये, छोटा 5
It's evident that even the business of refilling cylinders is a racket. It costs 200 to fill a small cylinder and just 300 to 400 rupees to fill a large cylinder. Instead, the asking rate is 500 rupees and 1,150 respectively. Finally, our team reached Najafgarh, where we were confronted by a similarly grim picture.
सिलेंडर कितने का पड़ रहा है अभी?
सिलेंडर का कोई वो नहीं है, रिफिलिंग 7,000 रुपये में दे रहे हैं,
रिफिलिंग
फोन आ रहे हैं। मैं कहा 7,000 में मैं क्या करूँगा, मैं मिल ही नहीं रहे, बंदे लाइन लगा के खड़े हैं मेरे स्टाफ के।
सिलेंडर कितने का पड़ रहा है अभी?
लिफ्टिंग 7,000 रुपये में दे रहे हैं।
Once again, the asking rate here is 7,000 rupees per cylinder. India is fighting for its basic right to breathe, but it seems nothing stops those who are intent on making a quick buck out of people's miseries. Bureau Report, CNN News 18.
Joining us now is UP Cabinet Minister and UP Government spokesperson Siddharth Nath Singh. Sir, thanks a lot for joining us. We've just played out News 18's exclusive report on how black marketing is still going on of something as crucial as oxygen. Now, the Uttar Pradesh government has decided that you will slap NSA against these individuals. Anyone who's found to hoard or black market key drugs or oxygen. Do you think this is proving to be a sufficient deterrent?
Well, the idea is always to create a deterrent, but we have taken actions of more than 6 to 7 dozen people throughout Uttar Pradesh, and we continue to chase them and put NSA and take legal actions against them as per the IPC code of conduct. So all those things we are doing, and we can only say that we want people not to do black marketing, and therefore NSA has been imposed on them. And but still, people greed to make quick buck, and sometimes the arrogance make them criminals during even during the pandemic.
But what is the big difficulty in ensuring that something like this does not happen at all?
Well, it's there is a supply and demand side to everything, and we all know that oxygen throughout India there is. I wouldn't really say a crisis because the central government has stepped in. Now many plants and many things have started rolling out. For example, even in Uttar Pradesh, when we started all, let's say Uttar Pradesh had about 30 tankers only for oxygen. Now we are working with almost 90 tankers. So within a short span, we have managed as a state government ramped it up by 3 times. But the number of cases keep increasing. So there is a demand and supply which needs to be maintained. And therefore people get, again I say, they become greedy and they make shortcuts, leaving humanity behind. So it's unfortunate, but the government is also then working against them. We have NSA, we are nabbing these people, and I hope that becomes a good deterrent to them.
Do you think more states should follow your example? Madhya Pradesh, for example, has also invoked NSA against those who indulge in these practices. You know, the public is really angry, Siddharth Nath Singh. Do you think more states should follow this example, and nationally there should be a message that goes down that anybody thinks 10 times before doing so?
Well, I can't really speak for other states what they wish to do. But if the NSA is a deterrent, we hope that works against this black marketers and those who are hoarding. So if there is anything the other states can also suggest, if that is more workable, then we would also, I can say very honestly, Uttar Pradesh would be more than happy to accept that deterrent, which is better than NSA and putting them behind the bars.
I also want to ask you, Uttar Pradesh government has also taken very stringent note of those who may be spreading rumors or fake SOSs in the state. You have booked some people for this,
yes,
but you're also facing some criticism that this is being wrongly used.
Well, there's always the coin has two sides. And I have generally seen in politics that when you start doing something and you start taking action, there is the opposition side always comes up, or sorry to say, but in the media also, this is always flipped that, oh, the government is misusing it. But the idea is not of misusing. The idea is to check them. The idea is that people should be more responsible So therefore the government imposes these things. But in the first place, because these rumors are, then there has to be some mechanism to check them. And the only way to check them is to create a deterrent. I know cases in Barabanki, even the deaths of minors were declared as COVID when that hospital, they were never even admitted. So that kind of rumors also start happening, or that kind of reporting from the doctors also start happening. Now, what are the reasons behind it is a matter of investigation, but this should stop.
So we've all seen these messages on social media, for example, Sirajji, where everybody is copy pasting the same message. As you said, there are some cases where the truth was altogether different. For example, an SOS had come that some aged man had died, but it was not a COVID-related death. Why do you think people are still doing this? I mean, as a country, we need to come together to ensure that the best resources, even through social media warriors and good Samaritans, can go to the right people. And how many such cases do you believe have come to light in Uttar Pradesh?
Well, I can't give I don't have the numbers, but yes, there have been some reporting like this. And we have been active. The police has been active. Our cyber police have been active in nabbing them and also booking them under the IPC. But at the same time, why people love to do that, I can't really answer. I think it's more of as a citizens,
Right.
our responsibilities, we really take it too lightly. We only talk about our rights, but not about our responsibilities as a citizen. And that is something which should come with our fundamental rights. But nevertheless, that's not the time to have a discussion on it. But at the same time, I feel people should realize that today is the time that in the country's biggest enemy is COVID. It is nobody individual, no hospitals, no doctors, corona warriors, or even the governments or media, anybody. Nobody is a enemy of each other. We all need to come together, as you rightly said,
Right.
and see that the enemy number one is COVID, and we will fight together. I think that will be the biggest strength and the biggest message anybody can draw from this huge sea of tsunami that we are seeing.
Okay. Finally, I want to ask you about the expansion of the vaccination drive. Uttar Pradesh, of course, is the most populous state in the country. And as the vaccination drive expands on May 1, there's a lot of expectation from the states now in procuring the doses for those between 18 to 45. Several states have come out and said that they are not getting the doses in time, and therefore this phase will not kick in, at least in some states. How prepared is Uttar Pradesh? Are you going to begin vaccinating 18 plus from May 1?
Well, we are definitely well prepared to start the vaccination. We have those centers ready. We have all the apparatus, infrastructure ready. We have the cold chain ready. All that is there. But again, it all boils down to the supply timeline. So we are waiting for the supply timeline to be given by both the manufacturers. The minute we get it, I think we can roll it. But in the meantime, we have already started, registering on the portal those who will be, vaccinated. And today also we have taken a call. We are going to invite a global tender for about 4 crore vials from various manufacturers globally, and that should close in next 10 days.
All right. Okay. So you're also floating a global tender. Finally, even in India, there was some criticism about the vaccination price by the Indian manufacturers. So Serum Institute has now come out and said that they're reducing their price for states from 400 rupees per dose to 300 rupees per dose. I want to take your reaction on that.
Well, it's always a welcome, because that much of money is safe to put in other infrastructures of the health infrastructure. So it's always a welcome, if the prices are being reduced.
Okay, all right. Siddharthnath Singh, thanks a lot for joining us. I appreciate you giving us your time. The big update that Siddharthnath Singh is giving us, of course, is that in a meeting it has been decided that tenders will be floated for as many as 4 crore doses for Uttar Pradesh, and these are international tenders. Remember, in the new liberalized policy, the government has allowed state governments to go ahead and procure doses not just from the Indian manufacturers but even import them, and all of the imported vaccines can go directly into the state's kitty. I want to go across to the big question that we're raising today. Should NSA be slapped on those who are caught black marketing? Couple of states have done so, and nationally should we also come down hard? Remember, the courts have actually made several stringent observations as far as black marketing is concerned, and the public anger is really rising, as we brought you in that report as well. Vikram Singh, former DGP of Uttar Pradesh, is joining us. Tehseen Poonawalla, activist and columnist. Gurpreet Singh Rammi, he's Pradhan of the Indarpuram Gurudwara. They are doing their own philanthropic job as well. And Saket Tikku, who's president of the All India Industrial Gases Manufacturers Association and also part of the Government of India Committee on Oxygen Supply, is joining us on the show. Let me go across first to Vikram Singh. You heard what the UP minister also has had to say. How do we stop this black marketing? Even stringent sections, it seems, is not turning out to be sufficient, and daily raids are not turning out to be sufficient.
Shivani, I heard Mr. Siddharth Nath Singh ji very, very carefully. And I feel that the killer instinct was missing. In fact, there has to be much more to be done. If your reporters could go to Sector 9 Noida and identify the black marketeers, I think we have it in us to identify. But I believe the Corona warriors are also being a victim of the pandemic fatigue, and they need to have a dedicated team of the STF, the intelligence, the economic offences wing. And what Mr. Singh said, just invoking the NSA would not be adequate. There are provisions like the Gangsters Act, Section 13, and the MACOCA, where the movable and the immovable property are confiscated. And if the movable and immovable property are confiscated, a lasting and a deterrent lesson goes right across that law is unsparing. After what we have heard from the Honorable High Courts, I think there is no scope of leniency or soft peddling or pussyfooting on it. Absolutely deterrent and historic action needs to be taken, Shivani, and I would strongly recommend, apart from NSA, the Gangsters Act and confiscation of movable, immovable property, and the property proceeds should be used to rehabilitate and use for COVID patients and those in the hospitals and the ICU. Shivani.
I want to go across to Saket Tikku also. Now, you are the one who's monitoring the supply to every state. The issues that are being raised locally, for example, tankers being stopped, etc., etc. But today, remember, in the court also, Mr. Tikku, the court has come down very hard, and they asked for a list of refillers in the national capital. It's another matter that the refillers also have went to the court, and they said that, we are also facing issues. We are not getting clarity as far as who do we need to serve first, etc. And the list in itself was disputed by the refillers, the list that the Delhi government gave them. So there is a lot of chaos on the ground. But I want you to put it into perspective. Where is the leakage? How is it that licensed refillers are doing what they're doing, and most of them are doing a splendid job? There are long queues. It's not that they're all corrupt. So how are these dealers, for example, getting these oxygen and then they're selling them at exorbitant prices?
Well, you see, the demand is much, much more than the consumption. Black marketeers are in the business. Government has to come pretty hard on them. There is no doubt, no question, they should not be spared. But at the same time, government needs to ensure that the good ones should not be, punished. Now, there is on your show, I'm just saying, there is a oxygen company in Mayapuri, New Delhi. He has been, because I know the owner pretty well, he has been supplying 250 to 300, filling 250 to 300 cylinders a day and not charging a single rupee. Now, he has been put under so much pressure by the local, the law enforcing agencies, and he is so much fed up. His manager was picked up. You come to the station for what? Still, they don't know. And now, until that manufacturer gives to supplies the cylinders to the chosen ones, he is in trouble. 250, 400 people queue up under, in front of his company, and this person is doing such a good job for the society, not charging a single rupee. He's raising the bill, but not taking any money from the people, paying the tax also on that. But There are some law. I've flagged it to MHA, Government of India. I said, if a man who is helping the society, you have picked up his manager, and the small companies manager he does multiple roles. Now he has been told come to Thana every day. Why?
No, I understand. I mentioned how in the court also the refillers are saying that, you know, we also need more support. But
Refillers
what to
are
do with
fed up.
those who are black marketing right now?
Black marketing guys should not be spared. Government should come, or the police should take action. We are supporting them in that. Who will not support them in this? But there is a chaos. There is a
difference.
overall management. They have to manage things properly, no? Why refillers are fed up right now? Why the refillers have said, ki, sir, mehrbani kare. Why don't give us a chutti for 30 days or 15 days? Please take over this plant. We don't want to run it anymore. Because we can't take directions from 10 different government
Is that the answer? Should the government take over these refilling plants at least in the interim?
They will make a mess of it, further mess of it. They've
will
already
make
done
mess.
it. They
Very
will.
true.
What they can do, what I request the Delhi government also, I'm in fact trying to get in touch with the chief secretary, have a meeting with these, arrange a meeting with these refillers. There are 5 guys, 4 or 5 people. What they should do, appoint 1 or 2 officers, whether it's from FDA or from the local agency or from the... See, Delhi government has some brilliant IS officers. They are doing a very good job. I'm not saying that also, let me tell you. But overall, there is a mess and a chaos. So what they should do, there are 5 people,
Let me go
5
from
companies.
to Tehseen
No, let me
Poonawalla
complete.
on this. So
Let me-
Tehseen, you
let me
are trying
complete,
to...
please.
Yeah, okay.
Let me complete, please. What I suggest, let them put an FDA officer or some officer, place them in these factories, let the government decide, let them prioritize. भाई आज आपकी इतनी production है, let them decide which cylinder has to be given to whom. Matter is so simple. And then let them take a
Tehseen,
call.
you've been trying to amplify some of the requests coming in for oxygen. Now we know that a lot of people are, basically being taken care of at home. So there's a demand at individual level for oxygen cylinders. Not everybody is getting a bed anyways. So when we need more efficiency as far as this is being done, because people are having to pay through their nose in this time.
Shivani, I'm not amplifying. I'm actually arranging oxygen for hospitals that have run out. Over the last 2 days, 5 hospitals that ran out of oxygen for over 2 hours, I manage oxygen for them. And the gentleman who spoke before me, I just want to add some points to this. There is complete mismanagement, but your suggestion of the government taking over is like the crooks taking over. For example, in Uttar Pradesh, the police, and I have no qualms in saying it, let them, they have the guts put NSC on me and try to take my property. The police is completely involved in making money from those people who are standing in a line. Shivani, in Delhi, I'm refilling about 400 to 500 cylinders every day, refilling. But so many times in other states, Uttar Pradesh, etc., it is the police who want to push their people in the front. They take money, they harass people who have come for refilling. They ask for COVID certificates. It's not the police's job, and they've really created a mess. Second part that is important. It is these people who are supplying the plants. The plants are under such pressure, particularly in Delhi, because of 3 reasons. One, the central government completely messed up. At least the Delhi government, like the gentleman before me said, had some good officers. Every time I call them up that a hospital's run out of oxygen, they get behind it. Raghav Chadda will call me back. Somebody will call me back. Sanjay Singh will call me back. Manish Sisodia will call me back. They will arrange it personally. It comes in a bus. Central government officers are, I don't know sometimes what trip they are on. Second thing, these officers, multiple agencies, one agency is the police, one agency is the central government, one agency is now LG, one agency is the state government. It creates such a hassle to implement. Now they've been given nodal officers. Half of these nodal officers don't answer the hospital's call, even if it's run out of oxygen. I'll just give you an example. One hospital last night that I helped. I was continuously helping, calling up the government until 6 o'clock this morning. Until 6 o'clock, they were 8 hours without oxygen. They were at the plant. They were not given oxygen. Why? Because some police officer decided that ye nahi ja sakta, token ke aage koi aur jaye. Why is this? Why do you have to have this babugiri?
But this the central government is not handling in Delhi. No, Tehseen. Let's be fair on all sides.
No,
local management is under the Delhi government, and of course, police cooperation is required. Tehseen, I'm running out of time. I want to go across to Gurmeet ji also. Gurmeet ji, आप अपने गुरुद्वारे में ऑक्सीजन लंगर लगवा रहे हैं. आप ये कैसे कर पा रहे हैं और कैसे आप ऑक्सीजन ला रहे हैं और कितने लोगों की हेल्प कर पा रहे हैं रोज?
मैडम ये सेवा हमारी जो ऑक्सीजन लंगर है लास्ट पूरी 5 डेज से चल रहा है, जिसमें अभी तक करीब 3000 अबव लोगों को ऑक्सीजन का लंगर देके उनकी जान हम बचा चुके हैं। आज 5 दिन हो गए, 24 घंटे ये सेवा चल रही है। बिल्कुल गाड़ियों की लाइन लगी हुई है। इस टाइम इतना पैनिक कोरोना का जो इस टाइम कोरोना है बहुत पैनिक स्टेज में है। एक आदमी को अपनी लाइफ बचाने के लिए वो मुश्किल से आधा दिन यहाँ 1 दिन ही लग पा रहा है, उसी टाइम उसको ऑक्सीजन नहीं मिलती, देन वो अपनी जान से हाथ धो बैठ रहे हैं। इसमें कोई हॉस्पिटल सारे ओवरलोडेड हैं, कोई उनको एंटरटेन नहीं करता, और ख़ासकर जो गरीब आदमी हैं उनको कोई हॉस्पिटल अपने दर्जे के सामने भी खड़े नहीं होने देता। उन सब के लिए हमने यहाँ जो लंगर लगाया है वो फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट है, लोगों के लिए फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट है। हम जो परचेज़ कर रहे हैं वो हम ट्रिपल या 10 टाइम्स उसकी वैल्यू का बढ़ा के पेड कर रहे हैं, तब हमें वो उसको ऑक्सीजन का सिलेंडर के लिए जो सामान चाहिए होता है हर चीज़ 10 गुना महंगी आ रही है।
Okay. I've run out of time. We continue to, put the focus on these issues that are being faced as far as these issues are concerned. A big thanks to all of our guests for joining us. And Gurmeet ji, बहुत शुक्रिया हमें हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए और बताने के लिए, और आप जो काम कर रहे हैं उसके लिए भी बहुत शुक्रिया. Thanks a lot for watching. That's all the time we have for Stay with CNN News 18.